What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. It is Friday, September 5th, 2025. We are here at the Polderbaan for another morning of arrivals. It is cloudy but sunny. Should be lovely weather here. I'm standing really close to the water for the first time since visibility is improving. Looking to the north. No longer are there sand dunes in the way. First airplane arriving is KLM flight 676, arriving from Edmonton, Canada. A330-300, 8 hours and 8 minutes on the way. It's the PH, aka the fucker, as in how's your motherfucker? As you can see, runway visibility improving by the day. So we're standing right next to the water where, well, not a lot of birds are present yet. Gary Grebe is over there, further to the north. I think that is about the only aquatic bird that we can see right here in the immediate vicinity. You can already see what kind of weather it is. Cloudy weather, wind blowing more or less from the same direction. So this is looking to the north. This is what things look like to the east. Further land inward, it does look like maybe there is a shower in the making over there. This is looking to the south. This is looking to the west. You can see more or less that the wind seems to be coming from over there today. Southwesterly winds. Moderate winds, so not substantial crabbing going on. You can see it a little bit in the next airplane, Air China Cargo flight 3159. Duckman, good morning. Marja, goedenavond. And welcome to the show, everybody else. Roy, Jonathan, Paul, Mark, Leo, Stefan, Marjan, Marcel, Dodo, Klaas, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody. Richard, Chris. So it's a great show. Today we have a lot in store. 3 747s, the MPS being the first to arrive here. Destined to land on the Polderbaan. Superna is also returning. That's the last airplane, the last 747 of today. Oh no, don't tell me. Nah, they're just leveling things over here. Now, first up, Air Canada flight 900. When it starts to get a bit more calm, I am going to show you what's in store. We have 3 747s, the Orange Pride and Retro Transavia all coming in this show. And the A380 this morning, when I looked, was expected before 1 o'clock, so with a little bit of luck. Now I'm hoping they're going to drive that pile of sand out, flatten it, because this is not what we had planned. This was not the agreement. Canadian bank robber coming in from Montreal. Air Canada flight 900, 5 hours 51 minutes of flight time, 7878 Dreamliner, the Charlie Golf Hotel Papa Yankee. 10-year-old airplane, first flight October 2014. Daniel, goedemorgen. Leen, goedemorgen. Arjan, goedemorgen. Karen, good morning. Daniel, good morning. Ray, goedemorgen. Mr. Blue Sky, good morning. Karen cabin in the front. But yeah, now all of a sudden, that wasn't here at the very beginning of the show. Alright, the next airplane is still a bit further out. It's Finnair, not coming in with an A350 today. Gives us a moment to have a look on Flight Radar so we can see what is coming in. Have a look with me. Great show in store for you today. The MPS is flying over the south of England and is expected here around 10:27. The Arch Pride is flying in the vicinity of Paris and is also coming this way. Saudia is flying in Serbia, coming this way, expected around 11:30. That's a pity. Its ETA was 11:40 earlier in the morning, 42 I think even, so now it's looking to become a candidate for the center runway. Emirates, well, it had an ETA of 12:40 something earlier and now it's 12:59, so we'll have to see. Suparna, now an ETA of 1:16. There's not loss also underway, but that is expected for later in the afternoon and will be out of the scope of today's show. Retro Transavia is already at its destination and is going to return later in the morning. I forgot where it was, but it is returning later this morning, so that too we'll see in today's stream. Finnair Flight 1301 arriving from bloody Helsinki, Finland, A321, 2 hours and 13 minutes on the way. Oh, and a little grebe over here. Little grebe, mother ducker, dove under. The excavator is coming to the pile of sand that was deposited just now. Hopefully to smear it out so that it isn't hindering us anymore. There's the greebling. Or, well, I thought I heard a greebling, but apparently it's a grown grebe. Yeah, the excavator is already taking care of the pile. So that's good news. That is good news. Next up, BA Flight 436 arriving from London Heathrow, A319. Good morning, Jan. Good morning, Margot. Seth, good morning. De Vries, good morning. Agent T79, guten Morgen, servus. Stefanski, goedemorgen. Mats, goedemorgen. Lars, goedemorgen. Mehmet is also back in the chat. Mehmet gifting a membership already. Mehmet, thank you so much for your generosity. Adelaide Alive is the recipient. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, Adelaide Alive. Don't forget to say thank you to Mehmet, even though he is using his dad's account, Abdurrahman. It is Mehmet. Have fun with the custom emojis that you now have at your disposal for a month. Yeah, that pal. Getting rid by the cat. No issues over there. Tractor on the cycling path coming this way. It's getting busy here. Blue tractor. So that is a New Holland, most likely. Danny, goedemorgen. Sander, goedemorgen. Gerard, goedemorgen. Loudly purring cat indeed, Ray. And this is, I am pretty sure, a New Holland tractor. Yep, it says so on the tin. So the caterpillar is dumping more sand here. The cat is purring. And all just now landed here. All also catering to Karen's lovely Karen cabin right in the middle. Wow, the cat is there. And Mats is celebrating 8 months of membership, 8 months and counting, he writes. Mate, thank you so much for your ongoing support. Hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. If not, let me know and let me see what I can do to fix it. Ja, ben ik. Goedemorgen. Passerby saying hi. Jerry Slijm, goedemorgen. Bobbers, good morning. So, excavators are flattening the dike and are improving visibility over here. which is nice. Means that we have more access to the water from here as well. Seagull Fest 2025 is taking place further to the north, as you can see. Next airplane arriving here is KLM Flight 1402, arriving from Paris. Paris, Charles de Gaulle. 15 minutes flight duration. The Papa Hotel, Bravo X-Ray India. 737-700. 25 years old, first flight July 2000. En Klaas, thank you so much for your super chat. Klaas writes in Dutch. Begin de dag met een lachje of vliegtuig spotten. Ik begin met beide. Ik wens iedereen een fijne stream vandaag. Now back to work. Which translates to start the day with a smile or with plane spotting. I'm doing both. I wish everybody a nice day. And now back to work. A pleasant stream today. I have to scroll laterally when the message is a bit long. A pleasant stream. Live sub visibility already better than it was for the majority of yesterday's stream. We can see two airplanes, EasyJet with an A320neo in the foreground here and Delta Airlines Flight 74 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia in the background. Airplane number 2 is an A330. And the airplane here in the front is an A320neo. Bert, goedemorgen. Matt, goedemorgen. Pete, goedemorgen. Third airplane is already visible as well. That's a bit further to the north still. SAS Flight 2551. An A320neo arriving from Copenhagen. Martin, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody. The airplanes are crabbing a little bit. Even though it's not very windy, the wind is blowing at more crosswindy angles than yesterday. So this is EasyJet Flight 921 arriving from Bristol. Howdy Wilma, goedemorgen. And now the cat is coming my way. Also depositing some additional sand over here. If you have excess sand, might as well dump it. Fortifying the canal and the dike. The dike mostly, not so much the canal. This is Delta Airlines Flight 74, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. 7 hours and 45 minutes on the way, the November 814 November Whiskey. Good morning, Scott. Welcome to the show, everybody else. Delta Airlines Flight 74, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. A330-300. 7 hours and 46 minutes on the way, the November 814 November Whiskey. Milan, good morning. And good morning, all others. 18-year-old airplane, first flight December 2006. Hey Paul, good morning. Dijzer Rebel, good morning. Crabbing airplanes, mildly indeed. Lovely use of the reversers as well. I love how the excavator stopped working so that the airplane could pass and we could hear it, and then it started working again. Wind on the scale of tuning smoke is currently looking like so. The visualization of the weather is looking as follows. Let me the pop-up that I got. So we have wind blowing from south-southwest, 18 knots, 18 degrees the temperature, 7 knots the wind speed. It's not very windy, at least not on ground level according to the METAR, but the airplanes are crabbing I would say more substantially than the wind in the METAR is indicating. So maybe higher up there's a bit more crosswind than on ground level. Few clouds at 2,500 feet, and that prevents it from being a kind of okay day. Now, the Orange Pride is arriving, and will it arrive first? By the looks of it, it will. 10:27 the ETA, the MPS is expected 5 minutes after that. EasyJet is flying from Prague to Edinburgh. Now, Edinburgh is also a destination for EasyJet, Amsterdam, Edinburgh. So maybe in the upcoming days we are going to see Jesus in the Netherlands. That would be something, wouldn't it? The Saudia cargo is getting some more delay now, 11:33. Let that run up, I'm saying. Now, the Emirates is once again expected a couple of minutes to 1. So Emirates is going to be an exciting one. Will it land here or not? Suparna won't. And Saudia will if it incurs more delay. So hopefully it will, so that we can see it land on the right runway. KLM 592 is up next. It's a 787-10 arriving from Johannesburg in South Africa. It's the PH-BKM, Bravo Kilo Mike. 10 hours and 26 minutes on the way. Jan, goedemorgen. Thijs, goedemorgen. Tina, goedemorgen. Mark, good morning. Goedemorgen. Dion, goedemorgen. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. John Deere just arrived on the scene here. Uh-oh. Yeah, they're working their way towards the north. Quite obvious what's happening here. It's quite obvious what's happening here. They're reinforcing the dikes. Structural integrity. Mehmet, again, gifting a membership just now. Mehmet, thank you so much for your generosity. And Bobbers is the recipient. Welcome back to the Aurora Sky Lounge, Bobbers. Don't forget to say thank you to Abdurrahman, aka Mehmet. And have fun with the custom emojis. Gilberto, good morning. Marcus, good morning. 2 airplanes on the glide slope, A737 and an A320 Neo. Third airplane should be turning in the background from the right. Not sure if we can see. Oh yeah, we can. Absolutely, we can. Bombardier C-Series, Air Baltic. Here in the foreground we have KLM, arriving from Porto in Portugal, 737-800, flight 1570. And EasyJet is number 2. Number 3 right behind it. You can see it. That is the number 2 is EasyJet, an A320 Neo arriving from Birmingham. Hey Ali, good morning. Eyes back. Move successful, all unpacked. Good to have you back, Ali. Hope the moving went well. Now, just now a pile of sand got deposited here. And Steve Seagal is watching. Oh dear, John Deere, what are you doing? Yeah, well, they're moving forward. As you can see, the pile that was deposited there, the cat already flattened. I'm pretty sure that's also what's going to happen next with the pile that was deposited here just now. Hadi Hans, goedemorgen. And Skry, good morning, goedemiddag. Tuning in from Seoul. Kenzo, goedemorgen, good morning. Martien, goedemorgen. Wouter, goedemorgen. Hitachi is working. And Seagull Fest 2025 takes place right next to it. Good morning, South Island Aviation. Steven Seagal for the international guests. For the Dutch, it's Guus Meeuwis. Indeed, Guusje Meeuwis. K1 is also going to pass by in the front. A320 Neorio. Haven't seen the firefighters yet on their patrol round, so if they aren't going to do that, okay, but if they are, we are still going to see them if all is well. Looks all quiet at this fire station. Windsuck over there indicating a bit of wind, but less so than yesterday. Hallo Hans, goedemorgen. More Hanses in the chat. Next up, Air Baltic, flight 857, arrived from Tallinn, 2 hours and 9 minutes on the way. Yankee Lima Alpha Bravo Sierra is the registration. Anything else behind it? Not right away. There is a Croatia Airlines A220-300 also approaching. Should be the next airplane, so 2 back-to-back A220s. Delta Airlines Flight 56 arrived from Salt Lake City is over the Gulf of Yorkshire, approaching the Dutch coastline and looking to become the 3rd airplane to land here. To what extent we will be able to see the A330 as it is approaching the glide slope remains to be seen. It is a bit further to the north and the clouds are right at an altitude that they probably are a little in the way of seeing the A330. Or that A220 that is before it, for that matter. Although that is closer by, so maybe we'll be able to catch a glimpse of it. Just like we were able to catch a glimpse of this Air Baltic as it was turning final. And we have our answer. There it is. That's the Croatia Airlines A220, flight 450, right from Zagreb. And according to flight radar, Delta Airlines Flight 56 is now over Dutch land. Oh, I have it actually. Surprised that I'm able to see it, but there you go. Now where did I see it? Was it left or right of the... Just to the right now. The pole with the solar unit on it. After this Delta Airlines A330neo will be a United Airlines 777-200ER, which is arriving from San Francisco. In the meantime, a very good morning to everybody who has joined. You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boy. 3 Boeing 747s in today's show. The Orange Pride, the Retro Transavia. The first 747 coming this way. And also expected to land here is going to be the PH-MPS. The only one 747 in Transavia, in Martin Air livery remaining. Good morning Javaris, good morning just Marcel, Richard, goedemorgen. Here in the foreground on the right we have Croatia Airlines Flight 450 arrived from Zagreb. To the left we have Delta Airlines Flight 56 arrived from Salt Lake City in Utah. Hey Zigazar, good morning, welcome back mate. Niels, goedemorgen. A slow trickle of traffic coming to the Polderbaan at the moment. And that gives me a moment to have a small glass of vodka. The cat is still purring. That was the New Holland passing by. Dodo asks about Burendag. I don't know what that is. Delta Airlines Flight 56 is up next. Arriving from Salt Lake City, 9 hours 10 minutes on the way, the November 419 Delta X-Ray. 3-year-old airplane, first flight July 2022. The United 777 behind it, already visible. And after that we are going to see JetBlue, which is returning from New York. Just fucking kidding. Hadi Ronald, goedemorgen. Nice, going to America for 3.5 weeks. In 3.5 weeks. Where are you flying to, and which airplane type will you be flying? Modest wheelie. Doesn't look like the wheelie competition has yet begun in full speed, but who knows, that might still change. I see that there is a Chinese triple flying base arriving from the east, so another potentially loud landing pretty soon. Alan, what up mate? Good to see ya. Lars, goedemorgen. Varts, good morning. Hey Lance, good morning. The reason they are reprofiling the dike banks is clearly to allow a greater depth of vodka. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Military police on the motor. No wait, regular. No wait, that was military police. For a moment I thought it was a regular police motor, but it wasn't. United Airlines Flight 968 arrived from San Francisco, 9 hours and 52 minutes. The flight time, November 797, Uniform Alpha is the registration. This one is 27, first flight January 1998. Senna, goedemorgen. United Airlines Boeing 777. Yeah, that's... It comes equipped with a carrying cabin, as you can see. Quite a spacious one by the looks of it. Cat coming in. And oh dear, John Deere is also coming with more sand. Where is this going to be deposited? DB Basement is also back, good to see ya. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Subuku, good morning. Fair Sebastian, good morning. Well, we can already see what's going to happen here. The cat is flattening everything further south. They're working to the north. JetBlue, flight 2288, arriving from New York. Just fucking kidding. November 4077 Juliet is the registration, 6 hours and a half the flight time. Means that this airplane took as long to get from New York as the A380 does to get from Dubai to the Netherlands, to Amsterdam more precisely. Oh, oh, John Deere overtaking the airplane. There you go. That developed into a into a drag race that I didn't foresee. Big picture wise, you can see blue sky and clouds. This is looking to the east. At the horizon you can see bigger clouds, maybe land inward. A few showers might develop. This is looking to the south. And if you look in the sky and you see how the clouds are drifting, now it seems that this is a cloud street and it seems that the wind is blowing from over there. Also feels like I'm standing in the wind now with my face. So this is where the wind is coming from. More or less perpendicular, yeah, well, almost perpendicular to the runway heading. It's not blowing very hard. Mild wind, but a high crosswind component. KLM flight 1352 arriving from Prague over here, Embraer 175. Next after that, a Chinese triple. China Cargo Airlines, flight 209, arriving from Shanghai in China. That's a 777 freighter. Bravo 222, November. The registration. Quick look on flight radar to see what we can expect. We can see that the Orange Pride is flying in the vicinity of Rotterdam. The MPS is flying over the Gulf of Yorkshire. It's now expected 10:34 and the Orange Pride is expected 10:28. If it is passing over the coastline, we should be able to pick it up on its downwind leg. Saudia is flying in the vicinity of Vienna. Emirates expected 12:52, so as it stands right now, it's going to land on the Polderbaan. Looking forward to see that. Subarna still expected 1:14, and the Retro Transavia is also still underway. Well, I say underway, it's at its destination right now, but it should be returning in the stream as well. China Cargo Airlines arriving from Shanghai in China, 10 hours and 40 minutes flight time. Gerard, goedemorgen. Floris, goedemorgen. Michael, goedemorgen, good morning. Hey Sander, goedemorgen. Yeah, if you're at home right now, you should be able to see the Orange Pride pretty soon. It's looking to follow the coastline further to the north, so with a little bit of luck you should be able to see it. And then a couple of minutes later we ought to be able to pick it up as well, provided that the clouds aren't going to be in the way. Which, I must say, I'm surprised. It seems that they're not. They seem to be at an altitude that they're not really interfering with glide slope visibility that much thus far. Ricardo, goedemorgen. Boreas, goedemorgen. Rodi, goedemorgen. Drew Gambino, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody. Caterpillar excavator is what you're hearing. Is behind me and flattening the piles of sand that have been deposited here by a John Deere tractor. They weren't here when I began with the stream and with setting up. I'm standing closer to the water for the first time because we can again. Visibility to the runway and glide slope, once again, good enough, I think, to be standing closer to the water so that we can also see aquatic bird movement. Thus far, only Gary Grebe has been sighted, and of course, it's still Seagull Fest 2025 further north. Rob, goedemorgen, and welcome to the show, everybody who joined in the meantime. So, 3 747s, the Orange Pride, the A380, and the A380 perhaps landing here on the Polderbaan, and the Retro Transavia are expected. It's a show packed with a lot of interesting airplanes, and I'm not sure yet, I haven't even checked what Iceland Airflight 500 will be today. Yesterday we got lucky, it was the old livery, the old standard livery 757 200. Of course, not too long ago we still saw the, what's it called again? Aurora Borealis livery. Absolutely beautiful livery. And a long time since we last saw it before then. The cat is coming this way. The cat is going to bite into this pile of sand next, I think. KLM Flight 668 arriving from Austin in Texas, here in the foreground. 7879 Dreamliner. And where is Orange Pride? Well, Orange Pride is flying further to the north now and more over the Gulf of Yorkshire than over the coastline. That makes it hard for us to see. We'll be passing pretty far to the west. 767 today. Thanks for looking that up, Scott. John, goedemorgen. Michael, goedemorgen. And good morning, everybody else. Yeah, it is a cat on a mission. This is where he left off, so this is where he's going to continue to deposit shizzle. Still not ready to drop the load. Well, you can see they're actually also leveling it more or less, making it even. Here, of course, it's just rough sand that has been deposited, so it still needs to be more polished. Yeah, the Orange Pride is unfortunately going to the north, further over the North Sea than normally would have been the case. It's busy apparently, so they're already vectoring it further to the north and further to the west. It looks like the 747 from Martin Air and the Orange Pride are going to follow one another, so we might get a nice combo shot that you don't get to see very often. the meantime, also a massive big thank you to Bobbers for your very generous super chat there. Another great show this morning. Thank you so much for your kind words. I am happy to hear that you are enjoying today's show, and I hope that goes for everybody. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you are enjoying what you're seeing and you want to support the channel for free, it will help us reach a wider audience of people who haven't heard of the channel yet, but who would also be interested in watching our content. Thank you so much for your kindness, Bobbers. And indeed, Floris, looks like the Orange Pride is going to follow the Martin Air 747. Two airplanes that are each one of a kind. Good morning, Ashley. Good morning, Tris. Good morning, Artem. Good morning, Nico. Sander. Thank you for the update. You didn't have to use a super chat for that, mate. You know that. The Orange Pride just passed Katwijk. You'll see it in a bit. Well, I hope we are. I am looking to the west, but being a bit more land inward than you are in Katwijk, I am struggling to see anything. Frank, good morning, mate. Welcome back. Well, 4 consecutive wide bodies will be landing here pretty soon. Only a Lufty next, arriving from Frankfurt. And then we are going to see 4 wide bodies. Of those 4, one of them is the Orange Pride, and before it will be the Martin Air Cargo 747. Both unique airplanes, only one Martin Air 747 flying in the entirety of the world, and of course there's only one Orange Pride as well. The 747 is one of 3 that we can see in today's show. Saudia is also coming, as is Supernal Airlines. Retro Transavia is also coming back. It's at a Mediterranean destination right now, which I forgot the name of, but it will return later today, later in the morning or early afternoon, before the stream ends. Let's keep it at that. Alrighty, this is Lufthansa Flight 988, arriving from Frankfurt. 44 minutes to flight time. Days B is the registration, Delta Alpha India, Zulu Bravo. Hey Veronique, goedemorgen. Welcome back. Jason, good morning and welcome too. Drew asks if there are any M today. Definitely. There you go. ETA of the A380 as it stands. 12:52, which is also what I saw earlier in the morning. An estimated time of arrival well before 1 o'clock, so with a little bit of luck, we are going to see it here on the Polderbaan. Although, earlier in the stream, when we had a glance at Flight Radar, the ETA popped up and had gone up, I should say, to 12:59. And I'm hoping that was just a one-off glitch. Thus far, estimated time of arrival has consistently been well before 1 o'clock, so with a little bit of luck, the A380 today landing on the Polderbaan. Alrighty. The MPH is flying base, third to arrive here. Trying to see it. I think the pipes might be in the way, or the clouds are, or both. It's turning final according to Flight Radar. Yeah, we'll see it soon enough though. Andy G also back in the chat. Perfect timing, guys. 2 of today's airplanes of interest are going to land shortly. First up, the MPS, and then the orange pride. In the meantime, this is KLM flight 749, which is arriving for Cartagena. And that is in Colombia, and that is right next to. Now if only the John Deere could get out of the way quickly. Another pile of sand has been deposited here. Looks like Martin Air will be appearing from the right. It either got overshot by ATC or it overshot themselves. Martin Air Cargo 747 is now number 2, not yet visible but soon will be. Behind it, the KLM Orange Pride arriving from Cape Town, South Africa. Hey Stephanie, goedemorgen. Gerrit, goedemorgen. There's the MPS. There's the MPS. Long time no see. Quick look at KLM flight 644, which is the KLM 100 years livery. 6 hours and a minute on the way from New York, New York. What a view! What a view! If you are enjoying this view and you haven't done so already, consider adding a like. Leave a like. Help the channel reach a wider audience. Martin Air Cargo, flight 6122, arrived from Miami, Florida. In the foreground, on the right, the PH-MPS. Papa Hotel, Mike Papa Sierra. 7 hours and 52 minutes on the way. 35-year-old airplane, first flight May 1990. I was still 4 more years in elementary school, which means I was in the 4th grade and probably had just begun learning Dutch. Not even English yet. I think that started in the 5th or 6th grade in my time. Good morning, Tulip and NJ. Perfect timing. The MPS. Katie, good morning. Orange Pride behind it. Arriving from Cape Town, South Africa. What a sight. Hey Miss Wolves, good morning, perfect timing. Hey Wax Chizak, good morning. Francesco, good morning. Perfect timing, guys. Bill C, good morning. QJ, good morning. Orange Pride next. KLM, flight 598, the BVA, arrived from Cape Town in South. 11 hours and 2 minutes underway. 17-year-old airplane, first flight January 2008. The first of 3 747s in today's show has arrived, and now the Orange Pride has 2. Oh, it's a wheelie. Very nice. Or, technically speaking, it's called aerodynamic braking. MPS, Orange Pride, and a Caterpillar. That's always the same with cats, eh? If you're working on your laptop, they want to sit on the laptop. If you're trying to fill airplanes, they are going to stand in the way with their tail. Well, let's also have a quick look and see what else is in the pipeline. The next 747 is from Saudia and will land probably on the center runway 11:31, the estimated time of arrival. Retro Transavia has come alive, is in Seville, is expected back around 1:15. The Emirates A380 might land on the Polderbaan today. With the current ETA it will. So fingers crossed it's not going to get additional delay. And let's hope that the Saudia will get delay. Around the same time as the Retro Transavia is going to be the arrival of the Suparna Airlines 747, which will probably land on the wrong runway. But such is life. As you guys know by now, from here we are able to see it quite well. Orange Pride over there. And there's the MPS taxiing back. It looked clean, didn't it? When passing by. Sparta Rotterdam, goedemorgen. Jan, goedemorgen. Stranger, morning. Michael, good morning. Indeed, Alan. The cat is trying to bury his own shit. That's also typical cat behavior, so I wouldn't be surprised if it were doing that. Yeah, taking a shit and then burying it, or at least trying to. Don't know what your cats are doing, but mine always the grid next to the poo. So the poo is still laying in the litter box, open and exposed. Paul, good morning. And good morning everybody else. Right, so first stream back at the side of the canal. As you can see, they're still working on the finishing touches of the renewed dike. So a John Deere tractor has been depositing some piles of sand over here, and it's the Caterpillar's job to fortify things and straighten things. You can see over here already, this is where the Caterpillar already did its work, and this is still work in progress. It's working its way back, making sure that everything is even and level. That should be the end result, more or less. So yeah, it's the finishing touches. The visibility here is already way better than it was a couple of days ago. It's only going to get even better. 2 airplanes on the glide slope already. Air Canada is in the background, and in the foreground we have Taro. Peter, goedemorgen. Taro flight 361, arrival from Bucharest, 737-800. Air Canada flight 808 behind it. A Dreamliner arrival from Toronto. No Karen cabin on board the Taro. It's a bloody outrage. How dare they? And there's John Deere again. Oh dear. More sand. The cat needs to continue working, needs to speed up a little, make sure that those piles aren't going to be too much in the way. Next up, Air Canada flight 808, arriving from Toronto, Canada, 6 hours and 32 minutes on the way. So Toronto, New York, more or less the same flight time as, for instance, the Emirates A380 from Dubai to Amsterdam, 6.5 hours approximately. Wouter asks, is there a queue in it? It isn't, there isn't. It's a Charlie Golf Hotel Papa uniform. It is a Canadian airplane and it doesn't have Quebec in the registration. It's fake. Right, and John Deere is returning, having deposited the pile of sand. Can't get more. The cat needs to step on it because now there are 4 piles of sand over here. 2 right next to one another. Or at least that's what it looks like from over here. This is Air France, flight 1444, arriving from Paris. 51 minutes on the way. It's the Fahazak Foxtrot Hotel Zulu Uniform Charlie. A220-300 Bombardier C-Series. 3 years old, first flight October 2021. SAS is going to be next after that. And after that, ETA. ETA, flight 108, arriving from Rome. That's an A321neo. Karen needs to be slim to be flying on the Air France A220, provided that she wants to sit in her own cabin, her own suite, her own sweet suite. And another Hans in the chat. Good morning, Hans. Hans galore in today's stream. That's at least 3 now. We need to number you guys. Hey, and Andy is also back in the chat. What up, mate? Andy returning to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Welcome back, mate. We kept your seat warm. Everything still the way you left it. Thanks for renewing your membership and welcome back, mate. And welcome to the show, of course. If you joined us only just now, you may have missed the back-to-back landings of the Martin Air Cargo 747 freighter, followed immediately by the Orange Pride. There are 2 more 747s underway. The A380 is early today and is looking to land on Polderbaan with an ETA of almost 10 minutes to 1. If that's not going to change significantly, I'd say there's a more than average likelihood that we are going to see the A380 on the Polderbaan here. Retro Transavia will also be flying back and arriving around 1:15. Pieter, goedemorgen. Zigosor asks if I would ever be interested in connecting a second stream to my computer for outgoing traffic. Well, that would be impossible because then I would have to have a second cameraman and the logistics would be very complex. So no, I don't think I would. Particularly since inbound and outbound traffic are always geographically very dispersed from one another. Complexity and investments involved in making that work, let alone the fact that you need a second guy to operate a camera, or girl. It's Airways Flight 108, from Rome, A321neo. Makes a nice contrast with Caterpillar, all the bright colors. Is mentioning that the Retro Transavia just got airborne, waiting for an estimated time of arrival. I thought it was around 1:15. Flight 978 is up next, arrived from London City. This is an 190. With a KLM 737 behind it, arriving from Copenhagen. You can see the twinkling of a third airplane, which is an Embraer 190 arriving from London City. Interesting. So, two KLMs arriving from London City, almost back to back. Just the 737 in the middle. Is pushing the sand away. Cats and their litter boxes, eh? So at least this pile of rubble is now lowered again. Thumbs up from the captain. He is continuing to take on the next pile of shit. I was sitting there. Hey, what are you doing? It's an outrage. The cat is chasing the birds away. Like I said, typical cat behavior. This is KLM flight 1268, arriving from Copenhagen, 59 minutes on the way. 737-700, Papa Hotel, Bravo Golf Golf. Right, well, it's starting to get more cloudy here. This is looking to the east. Lovely, lovely illuminated clouds, I have to say. Quite contrasty. Was very dreamlike. This is what things look like to the south. This is what things look like to the west. Most open part of the sky is immediately west of me. It's getting more cloudy here. Might actually resort to putting on my hoodie over my vest as well. Was looking to become a sunny day, but it's more cloudy now than I thought it was going to be. Who have joined. Olaf, good morning. The cat came out to play, and as soon as the cat leaves, the birds return. So it seems that Seagull Fest 2025 is commencing over here. Next up, KLM flight 1930. 175 arriving from Geneva, and we can see another airplane in the background turning or approaching the glide slope, and that would be Aegean flight 3624 arriving from Athens, an A321neo, and the third airplane to land, including this one. Martijn says, I think the cat flattened the piles, especially for you, boy. It might be. I hope it was a special thing for me. Lots of people are watching, and of course, it's even more fun to watch when the view is unobstructed. Transavia A321neo arriving from Ljubljana will be next, flight 6820, 1 hour and 25 minutes flight time. The Papa Hotel, Yankee Hotel Charlie. Brand new airplane. First flight was in December 2024. Bit of crosswind, as you can see. Hey Arjan, goedemorgen. And Arjan will be flying to Cape Town, South at the end of the month. I can imagine that's something you look forward to. I think I certainly would in your place. Now what I am going to do is quickly put on an additional layer of clothing. So I'm going to mute the mic for a moment. Or is that, yeah, I will have to take off my hat first. Back in a jiffy. all is well, we should be back again. Always a little involved with the lavalier mic attached to my head. It means that whenever I need to put something on or off that goes over my head, like a hoodie, the hat that I'm wearing on which my microphone is attached needs to come off, which means the wire and the transmitter which is attached to the back of my trousers also needs to be taken off again. So it's always a little involved, but it is an additional set of layering that will keep me warm and protected from the lower temperatures. Aegean has arrived in the meantime. Aegean flight 3624, and in the meantime, GE, thank you so much for your super chat. Will they be planting grass on the soil when done? They certainly will. They certainly will. Yeah, they'll be planting grass, and they already placed some ramps here for the aquatic birds as well. Obviously, if there's not going to be any grass for them, they're not going to be interested in returning. So, well, most definitely, there's one of those ramps placed at set intervals. And there's also still fishing nets over here for the crayfish. Those can be recognized by the little poles that are standing there. Here's another one of those ramps. Let's go to auto focus. There we go. Russell in the meantime is having a bit to eat. And we have Delta over here, Delta Airlines Flight 162, returning from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Pretty sure someday we will, Ray. I'm pretty sure that once the excavators will have left, the ducks and other birds will eventually return. Now, ladies and gentlemen, members, it is time to once again get out your red custom emoji. It is that time again. And while we still have an opportunity to do so, it is playtime pretty soon. Play flight 460, arriving from Reykjavik, Iceland. It's an A320neo, 2 hours 42 minutes on the way. The TFPPB, Bravo, Papa Bravo. Russell in the meantime is also sitting over there, sitting high and mightily. Autofocus, there we go. He's seeing that everything is okay. All is well. Yeah, craw, craw. Time to make the chat bleed. Still a bit of sunshine over there. Right here where I'm standing, it is all shady. Slimmed down shady, speaking to you from the Polderbaan. You can see that the seagulls are very curious to see what's in that freshly deposited sand. You see that the cab driver is actually doing his best to make it as level as he can. Next up will be a A321neo flight 430 arrived from London Heathrow. Already about to touch down here. Flight time 40 minutes. And this is the G Neo. That's Golf November Echo Oscar Whiskey. Martin also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Hope all is well. And welcome to the show, everybody else who may have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're here at Polderbaan, where excavators are working to put the finishing touches on the reinforced dike. Visibility to Polderbaan itself has already substantially improved. And once every excavator that is still working here will have gone, you can see unimpeded visibility. Those mounts, of course, will still be flattened and processed by the excavator. Means that we can already stand closer to the water again. Another ETA is coming, ETA flight 120. We already had the one arriving from Rome. This is, of course, the one arriving from Milan. It's also 11 o'clock now, and parallel arrivals are beginning. The first airplane to the central runway is KLM flight 1828, arriving from Stuttgart. We're also seeing a widebody in the background. That's KLM flight 696, arriving from Toronto, Canada. That's a 777-200ER. All well on my end, Martin. Everything well on my end. Thank you for asking. ETA Airways flight 120, now landing, arriving from Milan, A320. It's the EID. Old MacDonald had a farm, EID. No cabin cabin, but lovely details on the tail and the back of the fuselage. You need good lighting to see it. It's on all airplanes, but all ETA's, I mean. Cor, goedemorgen. Bas, goedemorgen. All is well. And thank you so much, Bas, for the super chat. Didn't have to do that, you know that. Much appreciated. Hope you got home safely yesterday after visiting. This is KLM flight 696, arriving from Toronto, Canada. 6 hours and 35 minutes on the way. 777-200ER, the Papa Hotel, Bravo Quebec, Foxtrot. EasyJet A319 in the top left behind it. Arriving from London Gatwick, that's an A319. Ricardo asks, when will they finish with the excavation and whatnot? I'm not sure. The NOTAMs were mentioning the 19th. I'm hoping it might be sooner than that. The NOTAMs, the Note to Airman. They are making good progress now, so they'll probably need another week. They still have to put the finishing touches on the dike like they're doing right now over here. If they still have to do that all the way to the north, I'm not sure if they're doing the same as the Caterpillar is doing over here in the north simultaneously, or if it's just one location. You can see over there where that green excavator is, there's also still grass, and it looks like they're putting on an additional layer. Looks like the Hitachi might be doing that. And I'm thinking maybe it's the Caterpillar driver's job to finish it up here, to make it smooth and level. If that's the case, they're still probably in for another week at least. Like I said, the NOTAM mentioned until the 19th. Maria says that the current ETA of the A380 is 12:48, so that makes it more and more likely that it is going to land on the Polderbaan. Let's have a quick look and see what is in store. So the Suriname A340 already left. It landed yesterday, we saw that. Saudia is expected around 11:30, so that's a candidate for the wrong runway, unfortunately. Looking at the southwest, we can see that Transavia and the Retro livery is underway. ETA 107. Emirates 12:48. That's a candidate for the Polderbaan now with this time, estimated time of arrival. And Suparna with 1:16 and arriving from the east will undoubtedly go to the center runway. But still, we should be able to see it quite well from over here. In some cases, the lateral view from here when airplanes are flying to the center runway is even better because you are able to see the airplane in more detail for a longer period of time. Well, in more detail, in reasonable detail, I should say. Of course, you can see more details when the airplanes are landing right here. Quite clearly. But it's still decent. Next up will be KLM flight 1002, arriving from London Heathrow, E2 Embraer 195, 44 minutes underway, PH-MPS. That gives me time for a sip of vodka. Looking up, the clouds seem to indicate that wind is blowing from the west, and if you look in the METAR in the ticker right now, 27011 knots, it means that the wind is blowing from the west right now. 11 knots of wind, and all of the wind is perpendicular to the runway heading. It means that the wind is 100% crosswind right now. The wind has picked up a little bit and it has turned more westerly, so on paper the airplanes should crab more now than they did earlier in the show, but we could see that they were crabbing already a bit back then. Right, so visibility is still reasonably good. We can see two airplanes in the distance. A320 from Air Arabia Morocco, arrived from Tangier, and JetBlue flight 631 arrived from Boston, Massachusetts is up next. Gallows Close, good morning. Jesse, good morning. Becca, good morning. IndiGo is approaching the center runway, flying in between the two airplanes that we are currently seeing approach the Polderbaan. There's the IndiGo Dreamliner. Going to the wrong runway. IndiGo flight 21 arrived from Mumbai in India, 8 hours and 17 minutes on the way. And this is a 7879 Dreamliner. The cabin quite clearly visible from here. Looks spacious. Meanwhile, over here, an arrival of Air Arabia Morocco, arriving from Tangier in Morocco in the north of. Flight time for this Dreamliner has been 8 hours and 18 minutes thus far. It's the Lima November Foxtrot November Charlie. And in the meantime, Andy Q, mate, what are you doing? Andy Q just now went ahead, gifted 5 memberships. You didn't have to do that, mate. Thank you so much for doing it anyway. Welcome to the Aurora Skylines new members. If you are one of the recipients of Andy's gifted memberships, don't forget to say thank you to him. Enjoy the custom emojis that are now at your disposal for a month. That goes for all members. Have fun with the custom emojis. There's 34 of them. And they're there to be used and to be had fun with. So make sure that you do that. Andy, thank you so much for your generosity. And welcome to the Aurora Skylines new members. Peter, goedemorgen. Peter asks if he missed any queens yet. And you have missed the best of the 3 that are expected for today. The best one you missed, it was the Martin Air Cargo, immediately followed by the KLM Orange Pride, the BVA. JetBlue. Arrived from Boston, Massachusetts. 6 hours 19 minutes flight time. Hey, dankjewel Danny. And Ricardo has another question. When will the Airbus of China Southern Airlines come back? The A380? I haven't seen him at Schiphol Amsterdam. That's a good question, Ricardo. I don't know the answer to your question. Maybe people in the chat know. Will China Southern return to Schiphol at some point with the A380? Good question, Ricardo. I'm not sure that they will, but it would be nice though if they were. Seagull Fest 2025 in full progress, in full swing here. And John Deere is continuing with piling dirt here. Bastard. Oh dear, John Deere, what are you doing? It's 11:10, parallel arrivals in progress until approximately 11:40, and in 20 minutes from now, if all is well, the next 747 is expected. Saudia cargo should be an arrival to the center runway. And here you can see a KLM M, which we can see quite well from over here. 747 will be decently visible as well. HZ, goedemorgen. Dale, good morning. Ulf, guten Morgen. We saw an Embraer over there, and we see an Embraer over here. An Embraer. This is KLM flight 1704, arriving from Brussels. An Embraer 190. Thank you, John Deere. Thanks, dear. There's piles of sand nastily in the way. Steven Seagull is over here. He's thinking, what's going on here? Well, John Deere is now returning. That's the silver lining. Let's go back to the manual focus, set to infinity so that we can see everything crisp. Here we go. KLM flight 1198, arriving from Oslo. It's an M190, 1 hour and 37 minutes on the way. An Embraer, Papa Hotel, Echo, Zulu, Sierra. A 15-year-old airplane, first flight August 2010. Working. You can see the fruits of his labor. Things look pretty straight, pretty even. The seagulls vote for us, are you? Surely you're not going to continue. You shall not pass. Fellow, morning. The excavator is saying to the seagulls,
"Oh, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out the way."
Flight 121 arrived from Nador in Morocco, which is in the north of 2 hours and 49 minutes of flight time. The Charlie November Mike Lima. Captain is 13 years old. Its first flight was September 2011. Eric's cat is also enjoying the stream, looking from the crab pole, or whatever that's translated to in English. Sharpen the nails. It's a game of how close can we get to that big loud machine. Who has the most balls to get closest by. They're really not that intimidated by the excavator, are they? Yeah, the cat operator is a perfectionist, you can see. I love it. Not enough people have high standards. Next up is going to be Iberia. Iberia arriving from Madrid, flight 731, A320, 2 hours and 2 minutes on the way. Nominal flight duration, the Echo Charlie, India Zulu Hotel. Captain is 21 years old, first flight made 2004. There's another airplane behind it, an Embraer 190 KLM, flight 1030, and another airplane behind it at 7 o'clock of the number 2. That is a Transavia arriving from Barcelona. In the meantime, good morning Marijka, and good morning all others who may have joined. You're still watching AMS Live, my name is Boy. We're here at the Polderbaan. If you joined us only just now, you may have missed the landing of the Martin Air Cargo 747, which was immediately followed by the BVA Orange Pride. minutes from now, 10 or so, Saudia 747 will be arriving and landing on the center runway. Retro Transavia is returning. The A380 is early today and is probably going to land here on the Polderbaan, at least with the last ETA that we checked, which was about 10 minutes to 1. Plenty of margin. There's a third 747 on the way, arriving from China. Unfortunately, arriving after 1 o'clock, so it will be a candidate for the center runway. That is Sukarna. Next up, KLM Flight 1030, arriving from Manchester, Chester, Papa Hotel, Echo, Zulu November. 51 minutes on the way. 15-year-old airplane, first flight February 2010. Bert says, I will guess you can smell that dirt being moved. Not really, I have to say, but the wind is blowing from the west, so it's blowing from left of me to right of me. That means I don't think I am able to smell it. It's being blown away to the east, the smell. Doug, good morning. Seagulls in the water, seagulls on land. Next up, Transavia Flight 5132, arriving from Barcelona. That's the 737-800. Hey Sebas, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody else. Jordi, goedemorgen. Nice wheelie. No carrying cabin on board the Transavia. We'll have to sit next to the plebs. Haven't seen any firefighters today. They have been doing a round elsewhere, or they haven't been doing a round at all. Is that the Hitachi? No, wait. They've added another excavator over there. No, wait, that's a truck. It's a truck probably, isn't it? I think it is. The Saudia 747 is approaching and should be flying very close by according to flight radar. Altitude is flying on 5,000 feet. The clouds are in the way. they are directing the 747, but it should be passing overhead now, above the clouds somewhere. According to flight radar, it is over the glide slope right now. So where is that bastard? It looks like it's coming to the Polderbaan. Well, where is it? It should be somewhere in the sky over there, by the looks of it, or above Haarlem. But there are clouds in the way. Alright, so the Saudia is flying to the west. It's now somewhere above Haarlem, which is over there somewhere. I think the clouds are... Oh wait, now I see it. There it is. The fact that it is flying there is good news. That means it's going to land here on the Polderbaan, ladies and gentlemen. Saudia 747. Is coming this way. Lucky break for us. And you can see just how they're fortifying the sand here. Down here. Hey, but that's good news. Saudia coming this way. Hey Sander, are you here as well? Where are you, mate? Or are you just watching from home? Bezoek bus confirmed, it's going to land on the Polderbaan. That's good news. Eversteria, good morning, good to see you, mate. Those of you joining us just now, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're here at the Polderbaan, and once again standing closer to the water than we have been for weeks, since most of the Polderbaan is visible again decently. Now there are still excavators in the way and John Deere tractors that are depositing some loose sand here. Reason being is that they need to put the icing on the cake and finish up the work properly. Now the Caterpillar is busy right on the other side of the canal. It's going to work further to the north. Pretty soon it's all going to be over and done here, and in a few weeks from now it's going to be quiet again with unobstructed visibility. And if all is well, the duckies are going to return as well and make use of the ramps that have been built there for them. Now if you join us only just now, you're in time to see the Saudia 747 land here on the Polderbaan in a few moments. It's the second 747 of the show. The PH-MPS, the Martin Air Cargo, already landed here earlier in the show, and it was immediately followed by the PH-BVA Orange Pride. After the Saudia Cargo 747, we're also going to see the Retro Transavia still, and the A380 is early. Ah, break at work, so you're not too far away then. Let's have a quick look before the 747 gets really close by to see what we can expect still. So Saudia is approaching and we'll be landing on the Polderbaan here. Transavia Retro is flying in Spain and is coming back. ETA 109, probably arriving over the southwest. So Polderbaan arrival most likely. Sparna is going to the center runway, ETA 118, but have a look. The A380 is expected 10 minutes before 1. And that is good news because that means Polderbaan. The wind initially was, last time we checked the visuals, it was southwesterly, but it's gotten more westerly. The wind is now blowing from the west, more or less varying around the west, 11 knots, 19 degrees the temperature, almost 70 Fahrenheit, scattered clouds at 2,700 feet. It means that every bit of wind is now crosswind. Another Embraer 190 in the pointillism inspired new livery. German Airways operating on behalf of KLM. Hey Huub, goedemorgen. Rosalie, goedemorgen. Our next update. Oh, New Holland tractor here in on the cycling path as well. Busy. KLM flight 1070 M175 arriving from Southampton. 48 minutes of flight time. The Papa Hotel Echo X-Ray Lima. Now let's see, this is number 1 and Saudia is turning in to become the 4th arrival for the Polderbaan. Moderate crabbing compared with when earlier in the morning the METAR said we had south-southwesterly winds of 7 knots. The airplanes were crabbing more back then than they are doing right now. The METAR is only reporting what is happening on ground level and not what is happening a bit higher up. Here we have the Saudia 747 flight 933, second 747 of the day's show, second of 3 in total that we are going to see in this show today. Third airplane to arrive. 2 narrow bodies preceding it. An Embraer 190 arriving from Aberdeen, and the KLM 737 arriving from Edinburgh in Scotland. John is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Welcome back. And this is the Herpa Derpa Derpa. Herpa Derpa Derpa Derpa. Makes a lot of noise, but you can see it is doing a great job. Kudos to the driver. You can see from going to a loose pile of rubble to a very level field and also embankment. Next airplane is a 737 arriving from Edinburgh. But we are going to skip it. Of course, we're going to keep the camera focused to Saudia Cargo Flight 933, the second 747 of today's show. And a surprise visitor to the Polderbaan. I had really thought it was going to land on the center runway since it is open and parallel arrivals are in progress still. Lucky break for us. Thank you ATC if you had a hand in this. Saudia Flight 933 arrived from Jeddah with Jeddah Nights, 5 hours and 20 minutes on the way. It's a 747-400 freighter, the 9H8KA, and that is 30 years old already. The MPS was 35 years old and was from 1990. This is 30 years old and is from 1995. In 1995, I had already gone to middle school, second year for me. What were you doing back in 1995? Yassine wasn't alive, Sebas was 8, basisschool, elementary school as well. Martin, finding a job. Marike, goedemorgen. Yuri in the middle school. Wouter was setting a school gym on fire then. Paul started his first full-time job at a college in Leeds. There you go. Different people in different phases of their lives. And this airplane already started flying back then. Right inner reverser not deploying. Right inner reverser didn't deploy. The slats did retract, but didn't open up the reverser. This bus playing outside with a real bicycle and no mobile phones. Best nostalgia moments indeed. Cycling. I also used to shoot those paper arrows that you make from long strips of paper that you use to roll up, elongate, and then you lick the end so that it would form an arrow. And you could put them in a bit of PVC pipe, and if people had their window open, you could shoot those arrows inside the bedrooms that the windows were open of. Still remember doing that when I was small. Good times. Beltjeschieten, indeed, Martin. Or those white berries that also sometimes would fit nicely into the PVC pipe. Pieltjes. Indeed, Marijke. Yeah, klapbesjes, those white berries. A whole generation was doing that. Right. It's time for more M190s. Next up, WestJet, allegedly the best jet, with a MAX 8 737 arriving from Halifax in Canada. 5.5 hours on the way to get here. It's the C-Frax. Charlie Foxtrot Romeo Alpha X-Ray C-Frax. That's the registration. 5 hours and 32 minutes on the way, 7-year-old airplane already. First flight September 2017. So let's see, 2 747s in the pocket. The A380 is still underway, another 747 is underway, and Retro Transavia is also still underway. Orange Pride and 2 747s have already landed here. Peter PDK is also back in the chat. Good to see you, Peter. Oh dear, John Deere with more shit. WestJet pilot flying nicely, making use of the reverser on his airplane. Tufbessen, Bert says. I'm not sure if what's the official name for them, but I think most of you guys will know what we mean. Quick look on Flight Radar to see what else is coming. So 2747's in the house. The A380 is still expected. Sparta is expected. Sparta is expected around 122. So that's going to the center runway. This is amazing. With the ETA of 1248, the chances of Emirates A380 landing on the Polderbaan are very, very high. Fingers crossed. And the Retro Transavia will land a few minutes later, so the ground finale will take place between 12:48 and 1:22, thereabouts. Andy, once again, has to go. Thank you so much for joining, Andy. Enjoy the rest of your day, mates, and hopefully see you again soon. This is KLM Flight 1406 arriving from Paris, Charles de Gaulle. Sneeuwbes of Clubbes, says Google, according to Martin. Sneeuwbes of Clubbes. There you go. Have a look at the clouds. They are once again spectacular. No rain expected in the foreseeable future. I think over here in the west it's going to stay dry today. Tomorrow it's also going to stay dry. And the same on Sunday. Sunday we're expecting higher temperatures, even the highest day of the upcoming week, with 26 C approximately. In other words, that's around 82 Fahrenheit. John Deere is continuing, and he is depositing. He will deposit another pile of sand, undoubtedly further to the north. And the cat is over here, slowly but surely moving ever more to the north. But you can see the difference between where he has been and still has to work. He's doing a great job, I have to say. Oh, go around. What? Why? KLM member 190 arriving from Barcelona. Apparently going around for some reason. I don't know why, because there's no traffic on the runway, that's for sure. Interesting development. What happened there, I don't know. KLM Flight 1498 going around the block another time. Yeah, and that was an M190. Indeed, Drew. It's not that windy, so I'm a bit surprised, I must say, to see it go around today. Wasn't expecting any with the prevailing wind. I mean, yeah, there's a bit of crosswind, but it's not very stormy or anything. Not sure if any of you guys were listening in on ATC and maybe you guys picked up something about why this happened. meantime, we have Airlines, operated by BH Flight 423, arrived from Erbil in Iraq. The Lima Zulu, Bravo Hotel Mike, 4 hours and 40 minutes away. Erbil in Iraq, only 4 hours and 40 minutes away from here. KLM 777-200 arrived from Vancouver behind it. The cat is still working. And the seagulls are having food here. Worms? What is it that they're eating? Probably worms, right? Apparently there's plenty of food in that dirt. Caroline asks about Iceland Air Aurora. Indeed, I did. It's not coming in today though, but we did see it, I think, last week somewhere. It revisited recently, I think, somewhere in the previous week. It was definitely in one of the Polderbaan streams, although I don't remember exactly when it was. In that respect, at the risk of sounding bored, the days all look alike a little. It's a double triple glide slope shot over here. 777-200 in the foreground, 777-300 in the background. Both of them are KLM. In the foreground, arriving from Vancouver. In the background, the one arriving from Panama City. No, fortunately, it's not coming today, Caroline. From what I heard, it is a 767 that Iceland Air is sending in today. Yeah, we saw it recently, and I think I said at the time that it was thumbnail material, but I'm pretty sure I didn't make a thumbnail out of the recent arrival of the Aurora. Yeah, same here, Paul. I know we saw it here on one of the Polderbaan streams, and I think I only went to the Qatar once, previous weekend. So it has to have been one of the 3 remaining streams. But don't ask me which day it was. In that respect, they're all the same. Right. Now, I'm happy to see that there is also another widebody from Delta following the 777 from KLM. There it is, Delta Airlines Flight 136 arriving from Detroit, Michigan, A380-300. Up first here in the foreground, KLM Flight 758 arriving from Panama City. 9 hours and 34 minutes in the way. The PH-MPS Bravo Victor Golf. Like I said, behind it is Delta Airlines Flight 136 arriving from Detroit, Michigan. That's the A330-300. Gear is extending on the A330, as you can see. that we are now seeing here is 13 years old. First flight was in May 2012. The flight duration 9 hours and 35 minutes. And if you are in Panama City and you travel further to the south, you'll end up in Latin America. And pretty soon, one of the countries you'll end up in is 777-300s do have a carry cabin, but it's for narrow cabins only. If you haven't been on a diet, you're not going to fit. It's as simple as that. At 1284, from Aalborg, 5,000 feet and approaching the city center of Amsterdam. Now, for a moment I was thinking it might land on runway 22, but given its altitude it's not going to. It's going to be directed further to the north pretty soon. Indeed, stay front. What a contrast. Wide body with a narrow cabin. In the meantime, Caroline, thank you so much for your gifted membership. Daniel Berger is the recipient. Welcome to the Aurora Skylines. Daniel, have fun with custom emojis that you now have at your disposal. Don't forget to say thank you to Caroline for the gifted membership. Make sure you have fun with those custom emojis. Caroline, once again, thank you so much for your generosity. And welcome, Daniel, to the Aurora Skylines. Is doing the last bit here, leveling everything. You can see almost done. It's not completely done yet. If you look at the edge here, the edge is still a bit rough. So it's just a preliminary leveling. The actual work is finished over here. So this is where he still needs to perfect everything. But the John Deere tractor was too ambitious in laying down the dirt further to the north. So it means that the excavator will now have to get a bite of sand and then take it back here, insofar as it is still necessary. More tractors and diggers here than Embraers, Lance says. For a change, indeed. Mark H is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Welcome to the show, everybody else who may have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boy. We're here at the Polderbaan, where they're making good progress with the dike reinforcements. Caterpillar here on the other side is doing the final bit. Doing a good job at it, I have to say. This is the finished work. Here it is, still work in progress. But he is absolutely making good progress. Cloudy. And the further land inward I look to the east, the more dense and complex the clouds are getting. If all is well here in the west, we should have a dry day. But that's not to say that inward there's not 1 or 2 showers falling somewhere. If you join us in just now, you may have missed the arrival of 2 747s and the Orange Prime. All 3 landed here. The Emirates A380 is early today and will probably land on the Polderbaan the way things look right now, with an ETA of 10 minutes to 1. That's ample buffer. Only once did the ETA creep up towards 1 o'clock, but it never crossed it, and it has been consistently well below 1 o'clock, so I'm not going to jinx it by calling it, but there's a higher than normal likelihood of the A380 landing here on the Polderbaan. Retro Transavia is underway. That too, I am thinking is going to land here on the Polderbaan. Oh? German Airways getting loud using the reverser. Dag MP. Meanwhile, Mark H just now went ahead, gifted 5 memberships. Mate, thank you so much for your generosity. You didn't have to do that, but you went ahead and did it anyway. And welcome to the Aurora Skyline's new members. If you are one of the recipients of Mark's gifted memberships, don't forget to say thank you to him. Have fun with the custom emojis, 34 of them. Use them, make us laugh with them. Get creative with them. Mark, thank you so much for your generosity. Welcome to the Aurora Skyline's new members. Alright, Casp says German Airways from Barcelona going for the rerun. That's the one that broke off the landing so early. For reasons yet unknown. Another pile of dirt being deposited here by John Deere. No! Get out. The piles of sand are already enough. I need to have a tractor driving along parallel to it all throughout the while. Then again, a nice drag race would be nice. It's not going to happen. John Deere is taking it easy. Made it. And you can see here, this is the finishing touch, straightening everything from the bottom. And scraping it up, making everything level and even. Careful not to hit the boards that have been placed there. Very nice, very nice. He missed. Ashley says, tell him he missed a bit. Hey, Lart, also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Next up, KLM, flight 604, arrived from LAX, 78710, 9 hours 49 minutes in the way. The PH-BKI, Bravo Kilo, India, 5-year-old airplane, first flight August 2020. The airplane next after that is going to be from EasyJet, and if you are gluten intolerant, you better look away. Almost noon here. Parallel arrivals have stopped already for a while. Everything inbound coming to the Polderbaan until 1 o'clock. After that, parallel arrivals once again commence for an hour. Current status quo, looking to the south. It's not very busy, but there definitely are some people here. This is of course the status quo. Looking to the east, this is what things look like to the west. And lastly, of course, looking to the north. Wind on the scale of tuning smoke is currently looking like so. EasyJet A319 arrived from London Luton, flight 22515. We're 190 behind it. And behind that, another widebody, that is Corendon, the A350, arriving from Boner. So on the right we have M175, and on the left we have an A350 from Corendon. Nice. Some wing fluff over the top of the wings of the A350 that you could see there. Waiting for the gear to extend on the A350. There you go, hatches open. Gear's going to come out. Then they'll close again. There you go, gear extended. Here in the foreground we have KLM flight 1284 arriving from Aalborg. Number 175, Embraer 175 I should say, 1 hour and 8 minutes on the way, the Papa Hotel, Echo X-Ray Juliet. The airplane is 8 years old, its first flight was in September 2016. Next up, Corendon World to Fly, flight 5997, arriving from Boner. 8 hours 53 minutes on the way, the ECNZF November Zulu Foxtrot. 2-year-old airplane, first flight May 2023. Good afternoon to everybody who joined Lars and there. Transavia 737 following this A350, after that an Embraer 190, after that an E2 Embraer 195, and after that another Embraer 190. So Embraer Fest is beginning to compensate for the abundance of excavators. Needs to be balanced, that's why we're going to get a shitload of Embraers now. Case in point where you can see that the bulge where the main gear retracts into doesn't always have to be so obstructive and so in your face. With the A330 and with the E2 Embraer, it looks like the airplane is pregnant, and here you can see that there's a bulge as well, but it doesn't protrude and it isn't very as obvious as is the as it is with the other airplane types. The design is much more aerodynamic. Videos, good afternoon. Duke TV, good afternoon. And the seagulls. Oh! The excavator is coming forward. Oh, and let's walk again to where it is, and then they're moving back again, probably. Oh, back again. Back off, and we can move forward again. Oh, it's coming forward again. And we can come back again a little. Yeah, so this is where the work is finished. You can see it looks so much better than over there where it's still work in progress. Great job, the operator of the excavator, caterpillar over here. It is a bit more noisy than normally would have been the case, but that's such is life. It's time for Embraer Fest 2025, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. KLM Flight 972, an Embraer 190. KLM Flight 1004, an E2 Embraer 195. KLM Flight 984, another Embraer 190. And KLM Flight 964 is approaching from the west. So that's 3 Embraer 190s and 1 E2 Embraer 195. The E2 is flying as number 2 now. The rest is all going to be Embraer 190s. First up, Flight 972, arriving from Humberside. 40 minutes flight time. Charlie Golf Hotel. No, Charlie Golf Mike Zulu, India. No hotel here. The plane is 11 years old. First back January 2014. Passing by. And the seagulls once again being chased away. Life of a seagull isn't very easy. At the moment a little bit more openings here, particularly a little north of me and also west of me. You can also see there are linear cloud formations, so-called cloud streets, once again indicative of the westerly direction of the prevailing wind. Haven't seen or heard, well, heard is not that strange because of the excavator right next to me. I haven't seen any contrails yet, so if there's something interesting coming my way, let me know. E2 Embraer over here. No cabin cabin. I thought most of the E2 Embraers came equipped with cabin cabins, but apparently this doesn't have one. What? Again, the lighting on the clouds in the distance is exquisite. Have a look at this. Very impressive. That's 12:09. John Deere is approaching. Oh dear, oh dear. Seemingly sweeping the road here, the tarmac. That's definitely a sweeper to clean the road. Embraer 190, no Karen cabin. Anyway, goedemiddag, good to see you again, mate. Oh no! John Deere is depositing another pile over here. I'm pretty sure that the cat asked for it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5, 7.5 piles. Then he is reporting rain in Amersfoort, bit more land inward. I think the forecast also called for showers more land inward, or at least a higher possibility. For now, things are looking alright over here. You never know if maybe some more activation takes place over here. I hope it won't, because I did not bring my umbrella along with me out here. I have one in my car, then I'd have to walk back to the car first to get it. Like I said, Embraer 190s were underway. This is another one. Britty Hopper arrived from Teesside or Darlington. Flight 964, 48 minutes on the way. Golf Charlie Mike Whiskey India. Andrew also back in the chat, good to see you, mate. Welcome back. This airplane is 11 years old. Its first flight was in February 2014. If you joined us only just now, you probably missed the arrival of both the Orange Pride and 2 747s. All three landed on the Polderbaan. The Orange Pride actually immediately followed the first 747 of the show, and that was the Martin Air Cargo PH-MPS. Only one of its kind. Still flying around. Hey Simi, good to see you again. Welcome back. So I quickly updated the code of the meter widget, Simi, as you can probably see. Only one time the meter word is mentioned. Have a look at this. Now I am seeing some more dense clouds further to the west as well. I'm not sure if the wind is going to blow them over here. Further up, I'm not sure. Definitely isn't looking as active as what you're seeing over there already. It's actually a big complex. Continuing further even over there. Have a look at this. Absolutely lovely to see how the clouds are activating. The lighting is exquisite. Dodo says that it's raining at Schiphol Center. Well, over here everything is looking good, but this is looking like a more active cloud. The wind is coming from over there more or less. So this is the one cloud I need to look and keep and monitor. It's probably not going to lead to rain anytime soon, but it's definitely a cloud to keep my eye out for. Simi already has to go back into another meeting. Well, it was nice seeing you here. Take care, make sure you survive those meetings. Weekend is upon you. In the meantime, it's narrow bodies galore here. Hey, and a duo of police vehicles coming this way even. And some doggos. Didn't even see the doggos yet. that Officer Rudolph, he was here on patrol earlier. He's probably in one of the BMWs. There he is, Officer Rudolph, once again with his mate. We already had a little conversation earlier this morning, and these are his colleagues, also from the Buitenbewaking Schiphol. That's the dedicated department that is responsible for checking the outer parts of Schiphol Airport. In the meantime, Embraers. Although we're going to switch it up now with KLM Flight 1216 being a 737-800 arriving from Stockholm. What? Not an Embraer? How can that be? And what's that? That's a widebody turning in the background. What? Turning in is KLM Flight 765 arriving from Bonaire. And behind it, two more widebodies. If you look, you can see KLM Flight 765 arriving from Bonaire is now number 2. And a KLM 777-300 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia is going to be number 3. It's flying base according to flight radar. I think the pipes might be in the way of us being able to see it. Let's focus on what we can see best first, and then it is back to the wide bodies. So an A380-200, followed by a 777-300, followed by a 777 freighter. This is what we're going to see next after this. Nice to see that this airplane does come equipped with a very spacious carrier cabin. If Karen is a bit more voluminous, she'd still be able to fit. It's a first-class carrier cabin, albeit all the way in the back. Yo, Lisa also in the chat. Good to see ya. So over here, right now, the sun is shining uninterruptedly. There's definitely more activity taking place, with precipitation even reported at Schiphol Center. Further over there, well, we need to look out for this, which is west of me, and the wind is blowing west to east, so that might be an interrupter of the stream, that cloud over there. 4 wide bodies are now approaching. KLM Flight 765 is the first. KLM Flight 622 is the second. And Qatar Flight 8207 should be third. And I'm wondering... Yep, there it is. There it is. Third airplane in the background turning in, Qatar. And Lisa wonders if she missed anything. Absolutely you did. Earlier, 2 747s already landed. The first 747 of today's show was the Martin Air Cargo PH-MPS, immediately followed by the PH-BVA Orange Pride. So that was definitely something nice to see. Saudia also landed here. Even though it arrived 11:30, it got assigned to the Polderbaan. And one airplane went around, but that all happened very early. And this is the PH AOC, as in what the fuck just now happened. The cat says in Utrecht it is pouring. That must be emanating from the cloud system that you see over there. Like I said, very elaborate clouds. And it is looking spectacular, although I think that the clouds that are closest by are obscuring some of the beautiful contrasty vistas. This is where I keep my eye on focused on, because that's also a very impressive cloud. but not in a good way. I think that might be a shower in the making, and I think it might be coming this way at some point. We'll see. We'll see soon enough. This is KLM Flight 622, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. 7 hours and 25 minutes to flight time. The PH-BVK, Bravo Victor Kilo, 777-300ER. 12-year-old airplane, first flight May 2013. Gerda, goedemiddag. Willful Wild, good afternoon. Goedemiddag. And we have a cat here that is playing in the dirt. Luckily, no longer immediately on the other side of the canal, so the background noise will probably calm down a little bit. Big patch of blue sky over here. But yeah, looking to the east, southeast, it's quite clear that stuff is going on over there. Let us turn around and look at the glide slope where two more wide bodies are approaching, and in the foreground three, I stand corrected, three wide bodies. The third airplane is turning in from the left at some point. Not sure if we're going to see it yet, but we should. This is Qatar Flight 8207, a 777 freighter, arriving from Doha. 5 hours and 54 minutes on the way. Alpha 7 Bravo Foxtrot Alpha is the registration. The airplanes are slightly crabbing. Moderate wind here, not very gusty at all. Not very windy either. It's just that the wind angle is almost perpendicular to the runway heading, which causes all wind to be crosswind. Yesterday it was more windy, substantially more windy actually, but all the wind came from the south, headwind for the airplane's landing. That meant less crabbing than today, even though it is less windy than it was yesterday. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. John Deere is once again depositing some sand. Another two airplane glide slope shot, two wide bodies. KLM Flight 744 in the foreground, arriving from Lima in Peru. Behind it, Delta Airlines Flight 144, arriving from Seattle, Washington, and that is an A380 Neo. KLM Flight 744, 11 hours and 34 minutes on the way, arriving from Lima, which is in Peru, and that is pretty close to PH-BVO. BVO in Dutch is an abbreviation for biertje voor onderweg. A beer for on the road. For if you're going out and leaving home with your friends, you take a BVO with you to have a little something underway. Or if you're going to a festival, Waterker! Yeah. Big fat John Deere depositing piles of dirt. Dirty deer. Dirty deer. Next up, Delta Airlines Flight 144, arriving from Seattle, Washington. A330 Neo, 9 hours and 37 minutes on the way, the November 431 Delta X-Ray. Brand new airplane, less than a year old. It will turn 1 in October this year, so next month. After that, it's back to the narrow bodies for the time being. Guys from Heijmans, no Meerkerk Infra. Honking, waving. Nice wheelie. Nicely done. And it seems that we have crossed through 400 likes. Thank you all so much for that. Glad to hear you guys are enjoying the content despite the noisiness. Apologies for that, but yeah, that's what you get when you have a truck, an excavator working right on the other side of the canal. But you have to admit, it looks really nice now, doesn't it? Guy knows his trade. Weather app is giving me a warning for rain in my hometown, so that is 10 miles further to the south. Or at least it says a chance of showers in the upcoming hour. Might be that system at the to my west. The warning for. It is time now for narrow bodies once again. KLM flight 1614 arriving from Milan, 1 hour and 20 minutes on the way. The PH-MPS Bravo X-ray Alpha. After that we are going for a Britty Hopper Embraer 170, arrived from Leeds. A380 assigned Polder, already, yeah, of course it is already in Dutch airspace. A380 assigned Polder, that's good news, Maria. Hey Tom, good to see you again. Thunderstorms in Vianen. Yeah, I think we're looking at the system that is now passing over you guys from a respectable distance. It's a very intricate complex of clouds. What I am also keeping an eye out for is what we're seeing over there, because this also is a system that has the potential to cause our stream to end prematurely. I hope it won't, but rest assured, if it is going to grow into a thunder shower, I have to pull the plug prematurely. I'm not going to risk standing out in the field during thunderstorms. Eres, good afternoon. Michael Tell, good afternoon. And welcome to the show, everybody else who may have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boy. Polderbaan is where everything is happening. The cat excavator, but also the landings of the airplanes of interest. If you joined us only just now, you probably missed the landing of the Martin Air Cargo MPS, with immediately behind it the BVA, the Orange Pride. Saudia, a surprise landing on the Polderbaan, arriving 11:30, and from Jeddah, so I really thought it was going to land on the center runway, but it got assigned to the Polderbaan, so once again thank you ATC for doing that. New Holland tractor on the cycling path. The Wild. The Wild going to the parking lot where It looks there are some people, but it's relatively calm, I have to say, by the looks of it. So the A380 is assigned to the Polderbaan. That's good news. Andy G says you should pack a lightning rod. Well, I am a lightning rod. That's the thing. I already am a lightning rod myself. Don says that the shower in the direction of Schiphol seems to pass just north of you. Is that so? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the way it looks. We'll see. We'll see. Dennis W is also back in the chat. Lunchtime and also time for AMS Live. Eet smakelijk, kerel. Bon appetit. So yeah, if we're able to stick around for all the arrivals that I want to film, the only one getting away is probably going to be the Suparna 747, which is expected around 1:16. If all is well, the Retro Transavia will return via the southwest and is a Polderbaan candidate. And if all is well, the Emirates A380 is also going to land here pretty soon. Already gotten assigned to the Polderbaan, so it might still change, of course. On paper it can, but in practice it probably will not. EasyJet in the meantime, landing here. Henrik also back in the chat, good to see you, mate. Hope all is well. Indeed, Frank. Nice tan, boy. Been on holiday? No, struck by lightning. Now let us see, where is the A380? It is still pretty far out, so no need to have a look to see if we can spot it visually already. Sebas, goedemiddag. En video kijken, thank you so much for your generous super sticker. Much appreciated. Thank you so much for your kindness. Drew says, film, what is that? That's a good question. Ah, it seems that the Caterpillar operator is going on his lunch break. He is putting on his jacket and he is climbing out, so Cat is keeping quiet for now. Ricardo says it's going to rain in Wauteringen, heavily clouded over there. Yeah, and that's exactly why I'm also looking at that cloud system that is on the side of me. If you look, you can see it is definitely something in the making. And the wind, I think, is blowing more or less from over there to over here. And it seems to be growing. So I'm not too sure about how long it's going to stay dry for. Obviously, it's not looking as immense and as complex as what we're seeing over there. Still, all's quiet now. The Caterpillar is not switched off, interestingly. Oh wait, it was on a timer. What? Am I hearing that right? No more background noise from a Caterpillar. What? First time in a long time. Caleb flight 1602, arriving from Rome, A321neo, 1 hour 53 minutes on the way. Fax H, yeah, PH-AX H. Yeah, and over here, a big chunk of blue sky. Big chunk of blue sky. But yeah, this is definitely a cloud that is activating and seems to be coming my way. The sound of silence indeed, Wouter. The cat stopped purring. Paul says, looks like there are lightning strikes in the Utrecht area. What's the weather forecast doing in terms of the shower that I see west of me, or at least the potential shower west of me? Because I'm thinking that is coming my way and it looks like it is activating. Are there any rain weather radar extrapolations indicating something like that happening? And if so, for what time? What's the estimated time of arrival here at Polderbaan area? Insofar as you can see. Nee, Ricardo, ik heb geen regenpak bij me. Ricardo asks in Dutch if I have a rain suit with me. I do have rain pants with me. I still need to look for a good rain jacket, which I don't have. My parka, which I don't have with me, is pretty water resistant. 110 rain Polderbaan, the Vries says. That's not good news. That's not good news. 40% chance of rain according to UK Met Office at 1 o'clock. Well, the silver lining with weather that we have today is that you can see what is approaching. You can see the clouds develop and you can see it well in advance. You know that the wind is coming from over there. This is the cloud system I am looking at with suspicion. It's getting ever more dark at the bottom. It's densing up, it's climbing, it's rising, it is activating. Undoubtedly, it is going to amount to rain. The question is when and where. In the meantime, all around me you can see these clouds, towering cumulus clouds, I think these are called. You can see them everywhere. Really impressive to see, if at a distance and not coming your way, obviously. Lovely to see. Lisa has to go again. See you later, Lisa. And Gary has just arrived on the scene. And Gary says, if I look at the past hour map, nothing is going forward to you yet. Okay. Yeah, but I don't think it is raining from the system to my west yet, so the past hour will probably not show you anything. I think you need to look at the 1 hour ahead to see probably the shower developing into something producing rain. Either way, we'll see it soon enough. Poncho is also what I've been considering, Richard. I'm not sure that it is enough water resistant, particularly for the arms. Matthias says KLM should change their complete fleet to orange. It would be nice. Completely orange or everything orange pride with blue and orange. Hey there, Trond, good to see you again, mate. And welcome to the show, all others. Now, at Schiphol there's a lot to see. Gary says 1 hour ahead shows you're getting soaked at 1:35. Ruben also says that. And that was the line hicking up, also on my end. Fools, well, the connection is back again. Like I was saying, the Emirates A380 is expected in minutes from now and maybe should become visible already. Transavia is expected 1:09 and Suparna is expected 1:22. We'll have to see how close the clouds are going to get here. Of course, it may get so close that I have to forfeit the filming of the 747 from Suparna. that's what it takes, then that's what I'll do. Obviously, conservation of equipment is of paramount importance. Chinese triple in the meantime, on its way out. Frank says in Dutch, you can also already jump into the canal. The rain will not be that bad then in terms of getting wet. Yeah, that's also one way of looking at it. The Free says, excavator is rain proof. Yeah, no, I'm not going to risk anything, obviously. We'll see. We should have ample time for the Retro Transavia and for the Emirates A380. The 747 from Suparna is going to land on the runway regardless, so I'm curious because I think somewhere over there the A380 should be visible, if only I know where exactly I need to look. Peter, good morning. And Jodo, good to see you again. Thanks for the person who gave me yesterday a membership. Welcome back to the Aurora Skylines, and thank you whoever it was yesterday that gifted Jodo the membership. Have fun with the custom emojis. You have access to them for a month again. Make sure to have fun with them. So let's see, the scale of chimney smoke, which is behind the Caterpillar, is in the direction of Purmerend. So yeah, somewhere over there we ought to be able to find the Emirates A380. It's coming this way, but I'm trying to see if I can find it going downwind to the north. I'm thinking somewhere over there in the sky it is flying right now, and we ought to be able to see it. I think the clouds are in the way. I think the clouds are in the way. The clouds are almost certainly in the way now of the A380, which should be flying downwind to the north, somewhere over there. It's going to the Polderbaan. For those of you who didn't know yet, it has been assigned to the Polderbaan, as it is way earlier than it normally is. Well, it's earlier than normal. This is the last narrow body for the time being. After this, 3 wide bodies, the third of which will be the Emirates, I think? No, 4. I stand corrected. Icelandic 767 is also approaching and is going to land here before the A380 will. No Karen cabin on board this airplane. Karen will just have to sit together with the plebs. Bloody outrage. Right, time for the wide bodies. Here we go. Have a look. What we're looking at is Delta Airlines Flight 164, arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. A330-300. Behind it is KLM Flight 751, arriving from Guayaquil in Ecuador. That's a 777-200 and after that we are going to see a 767-300 arriving from Reykjavik in Iceland, Icelandair Flight 500. I am zooming out and bringing in more of the left, which is where the 767 is flying right now. Trying to see if we can find it. I don't think that we are able to see it yet. So let's focus on what we can see best. It will pop up eventually. Hey Klaartje, goedemiddag, good to see you again. Perfect timing, the A380 is going to land as number 4. Here on the Polderbaan, no less. First up, Delta Airlines Flight 164, arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. 7 hours and 28 minutes. The flight time, the November 823 November Whiskey. Reversers? Question mark? New? Oh wait. Just a little. Just a little. Well, I don't suppose we're going to hear more reverser action from the next airplane because it is a KLM widebody. Those usually use no reversers and land with either reversers. KLM Asia. Flying on behalf of KLM, flight 751, arriving from Guayaquil, which is a port town in the country called...
Ecuador!
10 hours and 57 minutes on the way. The Papa Hotel, Bravo, Quebec, Lima. The airplane is 19 years old. Its first flight was in February 2006. Sarah also back in the chat. Good to see you, Sarah. Ari, goedemiddag. And welcome to the show, everybody. Such a shame that we have so many viewers now and we didn't have them in the beginning. A380 tourism. It's a pity. There it is. If you only joined us just now just because you wanted to see the A380, you missed out on a back-to-back glide slope shot of the Martin Air MPS 747, immediately followed by the Orange Pride. I guess the A380 is more interesting than all those other airplanes. As expected, idle reverse landing. Iceland Air Flight 500 next. Yesterday we were lucky, it was a 757-200 in the old standard livery. This is a 767-300 and that is in the new livery. Sterile, monotonous, uninspired. Behind it is Emirates Flight 147, arriving from Dubai, 6 hours and 23 minutes on the way. Arriving earlier than normal, well before 1 o'clock, which is why it was assigned to the Polderbaan. 767, A380. Retro Transavia is also coming this way. It's probably in the vicinity of Dutch airspace already by now. I'm wondering, has anybody had a look? And can anybody confirm that it has actually been assigned to the Polderbaan? Usually airplanes preceding quad squad members don't get much love here, but an obvious exception is of course, particularly if it is a 767, because even though I don't like the livery that much, 767s are becoming more of a rarity by the day. Will they use the reversers? Nope. Idling it out. Pity. In that case, let us turn back. Paul also back in the chat. Gamer Mike. Sarah needed her sleep. Yeah, well, I understand, Sarah. You're tuning in the middle of the night, as is Michael. You guys are crazy, but in a good way. But crazy nonetheless. You definitely need your sleep. Sleep is very important. There she is, slowly drifting in. What wind there is blowing from the west, which is becoming ever darker right in the direction the wind is blowing from. There's a shower coming my way. It's a race against the clock. The upshot is we can see it coming. Makes it more of an educated guess how long we have before it's going to start raining. We'll be able to see the landing of this and also the Retro Transavia pretty soon. Now I'm also getting a warning on my weather app that in 25 minutes from now it's going to rain hard here in the Vijfhuizen area. So my weather app warns me that I still have 25 minutes left. Hell yeah. There couldn't have been a better time for the Caterpillar operator to go for lunch and shut down the engine of the Caterpillar excavator, because we were able to hear the reversers in full glory. Dustin says, Retro now in Dutch airspace, Terneuzen. Has it been assigned to the Polderbaan? Just checking, I think it will be, but it can't hurt to get confirmation via omgevingsinfo Schiphol as well. Thank you, Marja. So that is good news. Yeah, so we began with mostly blue skies here. It quickly became more cloudy here. And further ahead, you can see dense clouds. Rain is pouring further to the southeast. Towering cumulus clouds. Now unfortunately there's also such a cloud developing directly west of me, which is where the wind is blowing from. Two bird control vehicles with their flashlights on, going that way. Has somebody brought donuts? Why are they in such a hurry? Seems that Michael has to go. Thanks for stopping by, Michael. See you again sometime soon, hopefully. Gary is trying to soothe me by saying we do know that it sometimes doesn't even hit the ground. Well, mate, this is definitely activating. I think this is even an anvil if you look at it at this cloud far enough from the side. There is most certainly activation over there. What's that airplane passing overhead? That's outbound, not seeing it. Right. Sticking around for the Transavia Retro, which is, where is it? Still 18 minutes out. Not sure if we're going to make it until then. Witze says 22 still open for East Plains. Is that so? Are they opting to have runway 22 open as secondary runway? That is interesting. Does that have to do with the fact that the sun is shining and they still have to replace the solar panels with rest, or what was the last plan now? Were they going to remove the panels partially, or were they going to put more matte, what was it? A foil over it, over them. I'm not sure what they did. Ruben says you'll make it. It starts to rain around 1:20 to 25. Yeah, but you have to imagine that taking down my setup takes 20 minutes. So that's definitely something I also need to take into consideration. They are going to put foil over them. Okay, interesting. Let's see, this is Air Transat A321neo, flight 376, arriving from Toronto, 6 hours and 49 minutes on the way. It's the C Joyo, Charlie Golf, Oscar, India, Oscar. Transat once again using the reversers. They too often know where to find the handle. Current status quo. Looking directly west of me, you can see how the cloud is not only getting closer by, but it is also activating. You can definitely see there's rain falling from that cloud. Next up, Norwegian, arriving from Oslo, flight 1256, 1 hour and 26 minutes on the way. Lima November Delta Yankee Tango is the registration. 14-year-old airplane, first flight June 2011. Nice spacious carrying cabin in the back. Yeah, so just try to imagine that there are no more excavators here and that what you see here in the foreground has turned back into green grass. The duckies will be swimming again here pretty soon. And normalcy will finally return to the Polderbaan after a long period with construction and reduced visibility. These are the finishing touches. Remco, dankjewel. Thank you so much for your donation. Much appreciated, mate. If all is well, next up will be TAP Air Portugal. An A321 arriving from Lisbon. 2 hours and 34 minutes on the way. Barbara, good morning. From what I can tell, it also starts to look like the cloud west of me is also moving a bit further to the north. So I'm wondering if it is going to pass me or will it pass just north of me. Hey Koen, good to see ya. All is well here. Hope all is well with you as well. Now I am starting to get a little curious. Let's have a look. KNMI is definitely showing a shower activating west of me. If there's one source that I think is trustworthy for days like today, it is the Dutch Met Office KNMI. This is a radar that is very reliable, and you can see that isolated shower that is developing, that is coming my way. Now the question of course is, will it get really close by? For that we need to look at Buienradar. And what I'm going to do is go ahead 3 hours Then zoom in. We can pinpoint the location we are at, which is over here, and you can see there's definitely, oh, the red most intensive bit is also coming this way. And when exactly was that going to happen? So it's starting around 120, and the heavy part is, what time is this? 1:30. So yeah, we have our answer. Definitely definitely is going to get wet here. Looks like it's inevitable. 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 Anyway, in the meantime, Remco, thank you so much. Remco is sitting on the other side in the truck. In the truck, which truck is that? Behind me or in front of me? Before me? The truck over there then, probably. Retro Transavia is still 10 minutes out. Where is the Transavia Retro? It's flying to the north, just past The Hague. This is what the west currently is looking like. Lovely cloud. Very contrasty. It's definitely also moving to the north. I think the wind is blowing more or less from over there. Remco says, look across the runway and you'll see me. Are you talking about over there? Not finding Nemo, but finding Remco. Ah, yeah, it is him. We've got a visual on Remco. Visual on Remco, who is sitting in the truck over there. There you go. Lovely, lovely. Well, you can see it is very interesting with a lot of interesting clouds over here. Unfortunately, also some rain coming my way. And now I am wondering if we are going to be in time to film the arrival of the Transavia Retro. And then still have enough time to pack everything in. Transavia is arriving from Seville, and according to Flight Radar it is estimated to arrive here in 4 minutes. It's probably going to be a bit more than that now, isn't it? But we'll see. It's not going to be very long anymore. I am going to wrap up after the Transavia Retro will have landed. The next 747 is going to land on the runway regardless, so we're not missing out on a whole lot. Over here, Air France flight 1640 arriving from Paris, Paris-Charles de Gaulle, A320. And the Turkish A330 behind it, flight 1957. Will the Turk use the reversers? I hope they will. Fingers crossed. Airplane behind it is KLM Flight 1502, arriving from Madrid, 737-800. Shifty says that the meter says tempo 600 SHRA. No shit. Temporary periods of shower and rain. Yeah, we can see it. It looks very impressive. The cloud, this is fully zoomed out, so you can see it's getting closer by. The majority of it seems to be passing north of me. I think there's only a little tail over there, but it does look like there's a veil of rain over there as well. So it's definitely coming this way. It's definitely coming this way. Hadi Roy, goedemiddag. Now, let's see. Retro Transavia. If ATC is smart, they'll send it to the east already by the time it arrives at the glide slope. KLM Flight 1185, 86 will have already passed. No reversers for the Turk. That's a pity. Come on, ATC, direct the Transavia Retro to the east. More than enough space behind the Embraer 175. It needs to get here soon. Well, it is a very interesting, contrasting cloud with brighter lower parts and darker parts behind it. The thing is, over there where I think the wind is now coming from, you can also still see that there's a veil. Even though over there, behind the cloud, you can already see blue sky. That's blue sky. It's only temporary, very locally. Definitely not something that you want to have falling on your head if you have a couple of K with electrical equipment exposed to the elements. Transavia is flying base. And in the meantime, converging arrivals with runway 22 in progress. Means that the ticker is not accurate anymore with respect to runway use. You'll have to forgive me for that. Interesting clouds all around me. I have to say, it looks very nice. This is KLM Flight 1186, arriving from Kristiansand, Embraer 175. Next after that is going to be the Transavia Retro. Still interesting to see. So this is southwest of me. This is directly west of me. Looking directly up, the wind is definitely coming from over there. Now, unfortunately, you can see there's a veil, a rain veil over there as well. Can I remember 175? Hey Thijs, goedemiddag. Uh-oh. Flight radar on my phone, hicking up a little bit. Probably a small lag in the stream then. Don't see any disconnections here. What a timing that would have been. Last airplane of today's show, ladies and gentlemen, Transavia flight 6728, arriving from Seville. The Retro Transavia A321neo. The PH-YHD Yankee Hotel Delta. I have an umbrella with me, Gilberto. It's just in my car. There it is. Cute snoot. I'm also going to go ahead already and say my goodbyes to you. So that I am going to wrap up quickly after the touchdown of this airplane. Massive big thank you for tuning in here. John Deere has returned, and I can also see that the driver of the excavator, the Caterpillar, is also coming this way.
Is it coming a big one?
No, Retro Transavia is the next arrival.
Oh, good. And when today not coming a big plane?
Yeah, in a half an hour from now, a 747, but it's going to the center runway probably.
Oh, not this lane.
Not this runway, no, not yet. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining me here today. I had a wonderful time. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you did enjoy what you've been seeing thus far, don't forget to leave a like if you haven't already. It'll help to bring in more people. People like yourselves who are into aviation but who just haven't heard of the channel yet. Massive big thank you for the super chats, the super stickers, the gifted memberships, people who renewed their membership or become a member for the first time. Thanks for the merch shop purchases and the PayPal donations and whatnot. You guys are what makes this channel so great. Lastly, a big thank you to all the mods for keeping the chat friendly and accessible to all once again. If all is well, I should be out again tomorrow, weather permitting. I am going to wrap up now and quickly pack in. See you guys tomorrow, hopefully, and take care. Bye for now, guys. See you soon.